you were listening intently, you weren't distracted.
That is absolutely correct.
That's funny. Well, welcome everybody. What did Romero teach last week? Engage customers. And making sure we engage the customers, making sure we do things to make the customer happy, meet their needs so that they can return. Today we're talking about strengths. Strength forces. Great organized realize that every employee is different and that we need to use these differences as a tool because some of our customers will engage and connect with different individuals. Is that true? I think we have a question back there. Joe, can you come up
That's
here?
his man bun, dude. That's not his hand.
You and your man bun come up here for a second.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hello, little Joe.
Hello, how are you?
This is who knows who Joe is? Woo! Okay, it's his birthday today, so. You didn't see that coming?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you.
That's like 3 birthdays for 3 culture meetings.
I know, that's awesome.
That's awesome. September's a great month.
Whenever we get an opportunity to embarrass somebody, we should. That's right.
Promotes team unity, team building exercises, right?
Fuel for future jokes.
Awesome. Man bun, right? Your man bun is good, Josh.
I do a lot of grooming and stuff.
I can tell.
It takes a lot of work. My mustache is on a new level these days.
Just like you started working in the field, it's gotten thicker.
Yeah. Growing some hair on my chin. Instead of working on my chest.
So we need to focus on the people. Aaron, do you had any customers call up and say, I want a specific foreman to come on a job site?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they do that. Why? Why do the customers call and ask for that foreman?
Because they'll form a relationship with them, and they'll tell them exactly how they want things done.
Okay, so that's what we talk about strength. We want to, the most expensive part of every project is the labor. And as you as foremen and you as leadmen and workers can engage our customers, that's where our strength is. Really, we do asbestos removal, but they're buying us, they're working with us, and lots of people want to work with us. So that's what we need to do is we need to become proficient in selecting for strengths, and our strengths are what we do as individuals to meet the needs of our customers, whether it's we say hello, whether we do the job on time, whatever that engagement that we use with our customers, that's what we want. We want you guys to be really good at being you. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? Many times we talk about you couldn't pay me to be a mechanic because I suck at mechanic stuff.
We could pay you, it just wouldn't be worth it.
It would definitely not be worth it. I would suck. I would hate it. I don't know anything about mechanics. It's not, I wouldn't be happy. So it's not what I do best. So I think that this is pretty interesting if you have the opportunity to do what you do best. Being the best you that you can be. If you do that, 50% more likely to work in a business with lower employee turnover. If you like to do what you're doing, more than likely you're not going to change jobs, right? 38% more likely to be more productive in business units. It means when you're happy when you come to work, you're probably going to be more efficient than everybody else. 44% more likely to work in business users with higher customer satisfaction. So if you are being the best you, you're going to make those around you more efficient. You're going to make the people that you work with happier, and they're going to be able to do a whole lot more. You're going to be able to do a whole lot more, which means you're going to be more valuable. So right here it says only 20% of all employees feel that their strengths are used every day. So that means 80% of the companies, 80% of the people in the company aren't doing what they do best. Is that a misallocation of talent?
Yes.
Could be a big. If we're struggling as a company, it might be because we have a lot of people that aren't engaged and they're not doing what they do best. So the strengths are in our employees. Way back 10, 12, 15 years ago, Fred and I used to sit and talk about how we can get our foremen to really engage and do what they do best every day and coming up with things. And so then we kind of made a slight shift to focusing on our employees. So we have this culture training. There's 2 flawed assumptions. Number 1, can you teach anybody to do anything? Why don't you agree with that?
Well, no, okay. You can teach anybody to do anything if you teach them right and if they're willing to learn. Not everyone's willing to learn. So you can't teach anybody anything.
Chama, do you think you could teach me to be a mechanic?
Yeah.
Do you think I'd be a good mechanic?
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
Why don't you think so, Sergio?
I like it.
I don't like it.
It does work.
So that's the flawed. Each person can learn to be competent in almost anything.
See, and going along with what you said, I think you can teach people something, but will they actually be good at it and be successful? And the answer is no.
No.
Not everybody's going to be successful at something. It's like, you look at Michael Jordan, we always use him as an example. Am I ever going to play basketball like Michael Jordan, even if I have the best coaches in the entire world?
Even if you practice 16 hours a day,
Yeah.
every single day.
I don't have the height or the slender build. I don't have the reach or the jump.
You definitely don't have to jump.
I'm lacking in a lot of those areas. So that's more along those lines.
So that's one of the flawed assumptions. You can teach anybody to do anything. The second one is lots of times people say where you can improve as an employee is in your weakness. Raise your hand if you think you know what my weaknesses are.
Donuts.
Not sweaty.
Your mustache, sweating. What are some more of my donuts?
Hygiene.
Personality.
Addresses. Come on, I was waiting for someone to say addresses or phone numbers. Pictures. Pictures. Hey, good. Do we like to be criticized? Is it fun to be isolated and picked on because of your weaknesses? So the flawed assumption is, well, if I know what Marvin's weakness is and I get him to change his weakness, that's where the most growth for Marvin is. That's not necessarily true because we're always picking on Marvin's weakness. We don't want to focus on what people do negative. We want to focus on their strengths. So those 2 flawed assumptions. So what the world's best organizations do is they do 2 different things. Each person's talents are enduring and unique, meaning we don't want all the foremen to be Romero, do we?
Not if we want to stay in business.
Why don't we want to try to change, let's say, why don't we want to change Josh to be Romero?
Josh is going to have his own characteristics, his own talents. that
Yeah.
he's going to bring.
What do you think, Josh? We're picking on you.
Just what Jess said, because I'm different from Ramiro, and I have different knowledge from him, and everyone thinks a little differently.
Everybody thinks differently. Everybody's going to relate differently. Isn't it funny how when you put a big group of people together, in a matter of a couple of minutes, pretty soon people start to find people that have similar characteristics, and pretty soon you have friendships with those people. You might be friends with everybody, but there's probably one or two that you have a connection with. We're all different. It's unfair for some of us to try to mold somebody to be someone they're not. So what we try to do is we try to say, you've had the strength finder tests. We try to use your strengths because you're individuals. You have different talents. That's where our biggest strength is. And you know what? We really like it to know if you have a specific skill or a specific knowledge in an area, or you have a talent in that area, and we can capitalize that and grow. Who hasn't taken the strength finder test?
Have you taken it? Raise your hands high. Who has the app on their phone? Okay, Chris is the only one that gets $20. Oh, now you got the app on your phone? Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. You get $20 right now if you have app on the phone.
I have apps on the phone.
On the phone. Let's see. Aaron, where's the? What, I don't see the app. All I see is your phone. Oh, yeah. See it. Open it up. App on the phone.
App on the phone.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll bet you everyone's gonna have the app on their phone next. You got it? You got it? Okay. It's okay if you download it right now. Serious. App will actually help you apply your strengths and coach you and give you ideas. So for you guys that haven't taken the test, take the test, right? And then read all the little coaching tips and ideas and ways you can apply it and so forth. If you're playing to your strengths, what's going to happen? Huh?
It's gonna be better.
Better.
Successful.
More efficient
Huh?
employee.
Like your job. Like your job?
More efficient employee.
More efficient. What else?
We're gonna grow.
You're going to grow.
Fred just said exactly what this slide said. If you look inside yourself, find out what you do every day, at the very end, you will be more productive, more fulfilled, and more successful. What is a strength? Anybody want to tell me what a strength is? Something you're good at in whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whether you're with your friends, something that is consistent from when you were really little all the way up. Comes naturally, yes.
You don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think about it. It's kind of what you do, right? If people ask you, how did you do that? You just say, it just comes. I just do it. First, for an activity to be a strength-based, you must be able to do it consistently. You have to possess the strength in every aspect of your role in order to excel. To do the best with the strengths you possess. Thirdly, you excel only by maximizing your strengths, never by focusing on your weakness. So we don't want to focus on the weaknesses. First, you need talent, knowledge, and skills. What's the difference between what's a talent? Something you're born with.
Talent is just something you have.
Something you have, right? What's knowledge? You learn facts, experience, right? And skills are what? Tasks, steps, things that you do to accomplish. Most important one is what? Why do you say the most important one of those three is talent, Romero? Or sorry, anybody want to say why talent? Go ahead, Bryce.
You can gain the other two.
True? You can gain skills. Can you gain knowledge? Can you gain talent?
No.
These are familiar terms that we've talked about over and over and over. Talent, knowledge, skills, and the idea is that we're trying to build upon the things that we do every day, our strengths. You have experiential knowledge and factual knowledge. We talked about that. Skills are steps to make it so that you can do a good performance. Can you have a talent in mastic removal?
Yes.
Can someone develop the skills to do really good mastic removal? Can you have experience to get you to be good mastic removal? But yet there's always somebody that was really, really good at it, right? Skills in order to enable you to avoid trial and error and incorporate directly into your performance. So skills are an important part because you can use your talent and maybe you can more refine your talent by the skills that you take. Strength building. The greatest obstacle to building your strength is your own reluctance. Do we believe that that is a true statement? Anybody want to elaborate?
I think it's easier to focus on your weaknesses because we're brought up, we're trained in society. I mean, just in general, you're trained to look at your weaknesses. So it's harder to look at your strength. It's harder to be confident in yourself and realize you have strength.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Society as a whole, I think that's true. But what we need to do is more than likely who is our worst enemy?
Ourselves.
Ourselves.
Why?
Because it's easier to believe the bad than it is the good in yourself.
So if you fail at something you're good at, that hurts.
Oh. So that's when they talk about failure. Fear versus strength. Why do so many people avoid focusing on their strengths? Why do weaknesses? Fear. What do we fear? Fear of failure? What else?
It's the fear of going all out, giving everything that you have, working as hard as you possibly can, and coming up short, and not being good enough.
Yeah, a lot of people fear change. A lot of people get comfortable where they're at and then they get scared.
Yep. Fear of weakness, fear of failure, fear of one's true self.
Anyone seen Eddie the Eagle?
Yeah, I like that. That's a great one.
The dude jumping less than 1/3 the length
Oh, the winner?
of the winner. And yet he was so excited and was like, you know, jumping up and down. He was the most excited guy ever. And he set a record for the longest ski jump from Great Britain. Yet his length was only 1/3 the length of the winner. Okay, he was cool with who and of his own true self. Okay, he was cool with it, and so I don't think ski jumping was his strength.
But it's what he wanted to do.
It is. It's what he wanted to do. He followed his passion, and it was cool. And if you ever see Eddie the Eagle, great movie, a lot of fun.
We talk a lot about our own fear of one's true self. What is it that we really are? So, at Eagle Environmental, we try to focus on strengths. We want you to be the very best that you can. Now, I failed lots of times working here at Eagle Environmental. I'm still here.
You didn't fail. We just learned a lot.
we
We just paid tuition
What
and
not to
learning.
do.
Yep. So, I think it's really fun to work in a company where we try to focus on people's strengths. If people are the very best that they can be, that's what we want, because then they're happy. When they're happy, it's contagious with the people that they work around. They do their job well. The customers can see it. So, fear. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. I think most people in here have failed at something. Don't be afraid of your weaknesses. And don't be afraid of your true self. Now, anybody else have anything else to add?
Hey, one of Chris's greatest strengths. What do you think your greatest strength is, Chris?
Sweating.
Other than sweating. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's a good one. I sweat all the time.
Okay, but what do you think his greatest strength is? Who would be willing to guess? Go ahead.
He's a people person.
People person? Yeah, that's pretty true.
Chris has an ability to make people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And no matter
Yeah.
what situation you're in,
Yeah.
whether it's, dire, desperate need, tragedy, or, a happy moment, Chris has a way of communicating with people to help them, feel at ease, feel calm, feel, on equal grounds.
You know what one of his greatest strengths is, from my perspective, is he is a dude that will jump in the middle of something and work and work and work until it's done. If you're going to go into battle, who do you want to have your back? Someone like Chris. Okay? The willingness to engage and try and work in order to succeed is huge. Okay? That is actually a skill and a talent that Chris has, and it's the reason why he always finishes. He's always getting it done. You know what? And you know, I really appreciate you standing up and being willing to teach.
No, I'm really sweating.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's hand it. All right. Invest in who? Yourselves. And how are you going to do that? First, by discovering who you are, what makes you unique, what makes you great, and then applying those talents here. Because guess what? This is a free place. We're paying you, giving you money to make yourself better. And you know why? Because we think you're awesome. And we want you to be the best in the entire industry, and we want to pay you more money for making yourself better and investing in yourself so that we can service our customer, right? Because happy customers, happy employees, happy customers make a little money, right?